Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei was son of dragon and gods and get both power? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the RUINEDDRAGONARMY for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Unlike other stories, this one doesn't start with perverted boy, but instead a dimension of nothing, of silence, as we see the dimensional gap in all its nothingness. However, two beings are there, like always, the dragon god of dreams and apocalypse, great red, flying around in the dimension. However, in a human form of a little girl, we see Ophis, the dragon god infinity. Get out. How many times do I have to make you get out of my home, Baka Red? Ophis said to the massive dragon. Ophis, Eve been here for a long time, and you haven't kicked me out once. Great Red said, flying around as Ophis let out her power, making Red stop and do the same. Then let's end that. Once and for all. Ophis yelled as Greer Red turned, showing all his power as well as he glowed down into a human form. Once and for all. Ophis yelled as Greer Red turned, showing all his power as well as he glowed down into a human form. If you want play, then fine, eat this, Great Red said, as he let out a massive crimson blast, and Ophis did the same with a black and amethyst. Both power as they clashed were shacking the gap. However, as the two dragon gods were focusing their attack, suddenly the beams stopped, confusing the two as a white light blinded them. What the hell? Ophis and Red thought the same as the white light faded as the beams glowed and formed two orbs, on red and black and the other navy blue and dark red. As the orbs glowed, the red and black one glowed and formed into a baby. However, the other orb tried doing the same, but struggled, seemingly being the younger one by a few minutes, but then it formed a baby just the other. Now for the baby's descriptions. Both have fangs and energy of Red and Ophis. However, the first baby has red hair and darker colored eyes like his mother, while the other one has dark hair and silver eyes, and both seem to be sleeping. Ophis and Red both move towards the kids as they see what their energy made, but as Ophis moves near them, she feels Red in them, and charges a blast as Red turns to her. Ophis, what are you doing? Red yells as Ophis looks at him. They have your power, so they die, she says as Red glares her down. You are a part of them, too, you fool, he says, but as they yell, both babies cry. She pushes Red aside, and as he thinks she will kill them, she holds them, trying to stop them from crying. Sure, it's okay, little ones, Ophis says as she feels like she wants to keep them safe. Can I hold one? Red asks as he is happy seeing this side of Ophis. No, they are my kids, she says, but then she knows they are part red, so she looks at him. Fine. Here, be gentle, she says, handing him the red-haired baby. How cute. So what should we name them? Red asks as he caught Ophis off guard. I'm not sure. She says as the two think until AI. The baby with dark hair yipes, making a noise as the two spark. Kai, they say as they choose the younger twin's name. Issei. The red-haired one yipes as they two turn to eye him. Issei? They think as they choose his name. Alright, you two, you guess you both will be Issei and Kai. Great Red says, making the two smile and giggle as their parents hold them until they feel sleepy. Ophis, can you hold Issei? Red asks as she is confused. Sure, why? She asked. You'll see, Red says, giving her Issei and then turning to an empty space as he makes a red light as Red creates a crib for the twin brothers. Here you go, time for nap, you two, Great says, flying to Ophis. I agree to that, come you two, Ophis says, happy as they put them to sleep. So now that they are asleep, what should we do? Ophis asked. I think we should both be here. I will calm down, okay? Only because of these two, but with us here I won't be so bored, and we will live here until they grow up. Then we go to the human world so they have a happy life and explore things like dragons should. Great Red said, shocking Ophis as he thought so hard about this. Okay, I can accept that for now, Baka Red, Ophis says as they fly away from he kids and focus their power. The two yell as a power of dragon gods roar is sent all around the worlds, and every dragon feels the power and message from the roar that two new royal dragons born from the dragon gods arrived and will become gods soon. While this happens, Tannon and ISSSI talk about the underworld until the roar was sent and Tannon became tense. Tannon, what's wrong? ISSSI asked his friend. I'm afraid a power greater than mine won't let me tell you, as this is a dragon-only matter. he says, shocking the Devil King, as the future of this world will change by these two twins. As weeks pass in the dimensional gap, Red and Ophis are getting used to being parents as they keep an eye on the two, with Kai being for restless, and Issei needing one of them to watch him at all times as he tries to float. Ophis then puts the twin younglings to bed, sits down. Sigh, this is tiring, I'm not used to this, but... She then looks at Issei and Kai next to each other sleeping so soundly. It's worth. Ophis says as she thinks back to her a few weeks ago, and she only wanted silence, but now she wants her kids happy. As Ophis watches the kids, she feels a presence behind as a portal opens to show Red walking out. Yo, Ophis cha. Red says before Ophis rushes to him, covering his mouth as she motions to the kids, telling him to be quiet. Be quiet, they just went down for their nap, and where the hell have you been? Ophis whispers. Red nods his head, agreeing to he quiet as Ophis takes her hand off his mouth. Okay, one, I can tell you're tired, maybe get some sleep yourself, and two, I was talking to someone about the kid for some help. Red said, shocking Ophis as she then let out some aura, scaring Red. Who did you tell about my children? Ophis says, scaring Red as he thinks. So this is the power of mothers and women, terrifying. Red thinks in his head as he then raised an eyebrow, shocking Ophis. Ophis? What baka, Red? She yelled as Red just pointed behind her, saying, Issei's floating again. He said as Ophis then turned around. Ah. Get back here, sweetheart. Ophis says, rushing at Issei, max speed, grabbing him and holding close as he laughs. I will always wonder why you do this. Ophis says, looking at Issei. It's simple, he knows you'll get him and he thinks it's fun. Red says behind Ophis, hugging the tired dragon. So who did you talk to? Ophis asks, holding Issei until Red stops hugging and moving in front of her, taking Issei, setting him down with Kai. Listen, I will tell you in the morning, until then rest. Red says, flying to Ophis and consoling the tired mother. I don't need rest though. Ophis says, but before she could fight back any more, her body gave in, and she fell asleep in Red's arms. Hush, Ophis-chan. Red whispers, changing the way he was holding her to a Princess Carrie, and moves her to the bed near their younglings. As the Dragon of Infinity sleeps, Great Red can only look down at her, blushing, seeing how cute Ophis is when she doesn't want him dead. Damn, what is this feeling? He says, moving away from the bed and turning to the kids. Whatever it is, I'm glad I have it, because I tells me I love you too, and your mother. Great Red whispers as he floats by his kids as he goes to sleep next to them without knowing their lives will change. POV in hell. In an unknown part of the underworld, we see two devils in a dark meeting room, one with black hair and pointy ears and red eyes. He is Asmodeus, while the other has tan skin, orange to brown, and violet eyes, and large. She is Levine. Are you sure this is the place? Levine asks. Of course it is, we are the true Satans, and he promised to tell us why Ophis is gone, so come on. Amadeus said before Emerald Circle appeared, showing a man with red to dark hair and armor with a cold dead stare. He is Beelzebub, the true Beelzebub. Took you two lust devils long enough. Beelzebub says, making fun of the couple. Haha, very funny. What's the news about Ophis? You said she would give us power. Asmodeus said, wanting to know why he was called. Who was it? Levine asked in fear, thinking something that she wished was not true. The room went silent until Asmodeus spoke up. Are they dead or stray? Gus says, confusing Levine. They are astray, and it is none other than. Scene changed to forest, dark and cold and rain, as a boy with torn clothing and white hair runs away from his home, now named Stray, as he looks for his new family, or his other blood family. The name is Lucifer. Vala Lucifer. Beelzebub says as the young Vala hides in a cave and gets rid of his tears, showing his blue eyes and white hair. Note, Vala didn't have the gear here, so his grandfather found him useless and scum worth killing, but Valley ran, not wanting to die. POV change gap. It is the day where Red and Ophis need to leave to talk to Tannon, and as Red waits, Ophis takes a bit. Ophis, what's going on? You're taking a bit. Red yells as he waits, then looking but seeing a flying Issei and Kai with two tiny wings out, making smile proud. No you don't, kids. Red says, flying, grabbing the two and holding them close. Sorry Baka, but I'm looking for our key. As Ophis says that, she turns to stare Red with Issei and Kai, all with smiles on their faces. Really? She says, annoyed, as the three just smile as they then leave the gap and enter the Dragon Lands. The two parents enter the land from the sky with Issei and Kai in the hands as they fly around, heading towards Tannon's cave. Hey Ophis, hand me Kai, you deserve to fly free. Red says, seeing how calm Ophis feels flying in sky. Hey, are you sure? She asks, confused, not sure why Red is being so nice to her. Yes, I am. You've been stressed and tired, so hand him to me and fly. You can even go into your dragon form and let loose if you want. Red says, making Ophis smile as she and him stop. Here you go, ba. Red-san. Ophis says with a smile, shocking Red because she calls him Baka Red or just Red, not Red-san, making the dragon god blush as he holds both his children. Yes, it's been so long since I've done this. Now kids, look at mommy. Ophis says, unable to contain her excitement, as she then glowed purple with black sparks. As the light fades, the twins can only be happy as they reach their hands out towards their mom. Haha, see that, Ophis? I knew that would love it. Red says as Ophis leans down to him. Hop on, Red, I think the kids would love it. She says, taking Red aback, but seeing the twins smiling towards her, he doesn't mind. Okay, but only if you go towards Tannon's cave. Red says, jumping on Ophis's back and sitting down with the kids on his lap. Kai on his left, and Issei the right, with the two touching their mother's scales. Stop, you two, that tickles. Ophis says as she begins to fly towards the cave. Haha. A chuckle comes from the little Issei as he loves the feel of the wind, while Red looks at Kai, and he touches the scales and hugs his mom's back as he feels at home. Oh, you like those scales? Seems like you and Issei have that in common for liking your parents' scales. Red says as he remembers one night Issei wouldn't sleep unless he turned Hus' arms into their scale form and held him. Boys, just telling you we should be there soon. Ophis says as she's Tannon's Gant cave and she suddenly stops and glows, making Red grab the kids and jump off. Warn me next time. Red says as Ophis turns to her human state again. Sorry, I just had too much fun. She says with a smile, grabbing her babies, letting Red have a break. I was wondering if that was you. A strong voice says as Tannon arrives in front of the dragon gods. Tannon, it's been a bit, glad you could make it to talk. Red says as Tannon and them go towards the ground. So are those the royal dragons? Tannon asks, motioning towards Issei and Kai, who are trying to climb his leg and use their tiny wings. Yes, they are big mouth, go a problem. Ophis says, scaring both Tannon and Red. No, Miss Ophis, none at all. It's just, why are you asking me here instead of leaders of the Alliance like Sirzex or Azazel? Tannon asked, making Red speak up. We don't to be involved in any of their politics, but we want our kids to be okay and live their lives however one day they will lead our kind back from the bottom. He says, looking at the two float and giggle. Ophis then walks forward and talks to Tannon. Also, we want to ask about raising younglings and if they could visit. She says with a soft voice, picking up her kids, holding them close. Of course they can, but if you're asking about younglings, I cannot hello because each parent is different, and dragons wish to be free. So all I can say is one day leave your kids be and know they will be with you, but if you're always by them, they want no freedom. Tannon says, shocking the two gods, but they understand. Then may I ask, what should we do? Ophis says, worried as she wants her kids raised well. Ophis, John, me and Tannon talked the four of us moving to the human world so they can grow up how they want. Red says, shocking Ophis as she doesn't know they thought of this. But as the dragons talk, a hooded figure from the shadows hear them talk and teleports away. POV with the Satans. They are in a room waiting for their info as a circle glows showing the same figure. What did you find? Beelzebub asked. Best way to say it, Great Red and Ophis are together, and have kids, and they might move to the human world, most likely co. The figure says as aura bursts everywhere, as rage breaks the walls and Asmodeus shoots the figure to dust. Looks like we know where to go. The Satan says, full of hate as they want their power. POV change the gap. We see a portal open with both Great Red and Ophis, and the twins flying into the gap with Ophis being silent as they put the kids down for bed. Are you okay, Ophis? You're silent ever since I mentioned going to the human world. Red asks as he moves towards her. I'm fine, Red. It's just I am worried about these two, and I will miss this place if we move. Ophis says, starting to cry as Red brings her into a hug. SH, it's okay, we aren't leaving for a few years. After all, this will always be our home, and no one will harm us or our younglings. Red says as the two hug and tear up for the kids they love. It has been a few years since the couple starting thinking about the safety of their children, as they have seen Issei and Kai grown up, while Ophis and Red have been getting closer, getting rid of their rivalry. Let's see. Ophis says as we see her cooking something up in the dimensional gap as she makes sure she has everything. Red leaves to buy or hunt food so they can do this. Now cook for 0 minutes and... Hey mumim. Kai and Issei yells from behind their mother, shocking her, causing her to miss the oil and have it land on her hands and have her hands be on fire. God damn it, not again. Ophis says, summoning her wings, getting rid of the fire as she turns around to see 2-year-old dragon boys on with a soft expression, one serious. Issei, Kai, what are you boys doing? I didn't notice you sneak up on me, and that's saying something since we live in a dimension of silence. Ophis said, chuckling as she put her wings away. Issei is years old with red and black hair and a smile that makes him be able to be noticed no matter what, and he plays with his dad and brother or sleeps, and tries to read as he flies. Kai is as well. He bluish black hair and a serious face but like his mother, but when he smiles then he is just like Issei, you cannot see that smile. His hobbies are playing with his dad and brother, reading and practicing magic with his mom. Hey mom, where's dad? Weird, it doesn't take him long to get food. Issei asked, knowing that his dad isn't slow or old yet. Yeah, besides we have something to tell you both, it's really important, get it? Kai says, frustrated. Yes. Kai says, get it? Mix the quiet Ophis and loud Red. You get normal voice sometimes, loud Issei, and quiet and normal voice Kai, who when he's excited or serious says get it. Oh really now? Ophis says with a chuckle. You can tell us during dinner. Besides you father usually is only late when he wants to tell us something as well. As she says that, a crimson glow shines as Red appears with some vegetables and pork, chicken and rice, the works for a dragon family. Yo, sorry I'm late, but I got big news. Red says as he sets the stuff down on the table he forms, and after he gets up from doing that his kids rush at him, tackling him with a hug. Dad/father. Kai and Issei says with a smile as they hug their dad as Ophis smiles and cooks. Hey boys, what's up? I got big news to tell you. Red says as his sons let him go. Us to dad, we can't wait, we have to tell you. Issei says until they hear a growl as Ophis turns around to look at them. Bro, seems like we might want to eat first. Kai said, embarrassed as the growl was their stomachs. Issei of course agrees and the family set up for dinner. An hour passes and the family is now eating at the dinner table talking. So boys, what was the news wanted to share? Ophis asked, interested in her children. Best for last, father, you first. Kai says, making Red smirk as he is so similar to Ophis. Okay, well I found us a home in the human world outside the gap. Tannon told me about Surzex and Co, so why not blend in unless need be? Great, said as Issei and jump up with stars in their eyes as they always wished to see the human world. If they didn't have each other they would go sneak and see. Yes, which oh hell yeah. Kai and Issei yell, flying through the gap with joy, making their parents laugh, seeming them like this. Go boys, that's enough, can you get back here so we can finish eating? Ophis says as her sons rush to the table. When are we leaving, can you tell us, Dad? Issei asks, still happy from the news. Yes, and is there a park, or a library? Kai says, just as energetic as his brother, wanting to see it all. Yes, there are many things, and for the record we are leaving tomorrow. Red says as his boys calm down and he eats. Oh, that reminds me, you both wanted to tell us something, what was it? Ophis asked, remembering that her kids had something important to say. Oh right, ready bro, Kai says. Issei was ready to ask the same as they both stood up. They took a few breaths in and then out, and suddenly they disappeared, causing Red to take the biggest spit take of his food ever. What the was that? The two parents said, shocked as they heard laughter behind them as they turned to see Issei and Kai slowly being able to be seen and fists bumping. Liked what you see, we can go invisible. Kai said with a smile, now fully visible. Yep, we got bored so we chose to do this one day and talk to OU. Before Issei could finish, Kai covered his mouth as he didn't want his brother to spill the beans about their friends. Okay, interesting. Ophis said, feeling tired out, getting a headache but also worried as they are acting suspicious. Well, we will go get some sleep, that power drains us little since we're still young. By mom, by dad. The two said as they made it their energy construct beds and feel tired as they instantly go to sleep. I'll look at them, Ophis says as Red is silent but gets up, leaking some aura to test a theory as he walks towards Issei. Baka, what are you doing? Ophis said, running at Red to block him from going near the kids with his aura. Ophis, close your eyes and focus, can't you feel a weird aura? Red asked as Ophis was silent for a few moments until she spoke. Why yes, but I thought it was that invisibility they showed. She said, unsure. No, and you know it felt like a different dragon. Red said as he walked past Ophis to focus his aura and touched Issei's left arm to test something, and as if almost instantly the boosted gear, a Longinus, an item holding Drake, Welsh dragon of domination. So you are in my son Drake? Red said, furious, and Ophis then let out aura as Issei's arm glowed. My apologies, great Red sir, I just awoke here but me and him got close as he awakened the gear a few months ago. The Welsh dragon Drake spoke in fear. Then tell me what happened, and is there another dragon? Great said with malice as he let out his aura, shocking Ophis. I will not say Issei is the youngest host I have, and he treats me like a poor. No, a fellow dragon, so I cannot say because I will not break his trust. Drake said, thinking back to Drake's first talk with the boy. Flashback months ago. We see Issei laying in bed with a green palm and a smile. So you're the legendary Welsh dragon Drake, it's an honor to meet you. Issei says with a smile and pride. Please, am honored to meet you, son of Great Red and Ophis, to God's son and my host, my word. Drake said with a laugh. You can just call me Issei, I don't mind. He said, shocking Drake. Okay, Issei, you can just call me Drake. The dragon said, happy. Sweet, so Drake, Eve heard stories about you, the two dragons fighting for domination, supremacy, and salvation against all, but were sealed as used as tools without dragon pride. Issei said as Drake goes quiet. I think it's stupid. Sure, my mom thinks you and Albion are idiots, but I think it's dumb that humans used you as a tool and didn't care for you as a fellow man, a fellow dragon. Issei says, making Drake laugh. Ha ha ha, I think this will be the beginning of a great partnership and maybe even friendship, young Issei. Now rest you need. Drake said as Issei went to sleep, and Dryag thought this boy is interesting. Flashback end. He was the only one who viewed me as a friend, so I would ask one last time, leave us be, and I won't tell you who Albion's host is. Drake said, standing up to the TWK dragon gods, shocking them until they smile. Alright, Drake, sorry, we just wanting to check on our son. Rest well, Drake. Great says, leaving and letting the gear turn off as the kids sleep. Next day, it is 0 a.m. and the boys have their bags along with Ophis as Red is by a portal. Okay, ready everyone, it's time for us to enjoy this home, say goodbye. Red says, knowing how much his sons love the gap. Kai and Issei then turn around and breath in and then yell to the empty gap. Gap, we're going to miss you, please don't change. Issei yelled. We both will try to visit you, are the first home we ever had, we'll never forget you. Kai yells as the two both then take some breaths, running to the portal. I'll miss this place. Ophis says as her and Red go into the portal. POV change co. As the family of four step out of the portal, the kids' jaws drop seeing the house. This is our home? Ophis asked, seeing the mailbox. Hiatus? If incorrect, this was the name you told us we would be adopting. Ophis says, remembering her talking about with Red when the kids are still infants. Yeah, that's our new human name, it will keep us safe from the devils without us using our power. Great Red said until he heard a scream, making him be taken aback and make Ophis chuckle as they see the source of the scream was Kai and Issei, who were jumping up and down. Let's go, the two yelled as they went into the house, exploring the rooms. This should be fun/interesting. The two parents said with a smile. Unknown to them, a devil from above sees them and knows what to do as he leaves. As the days went on, Issei and Kai played together and had so much fun, but when Kai checked out new books in the human world library, Issei was playing and trying to make friends, but everyone just ran away like he was a freak, even the parents, making the boy be upset. And when his brother found him on their way home, Issei didn't even tell him what happened, but Kai knew he was crying. But unknown to the brothers, nothing was wrong with THR. Humans expect that Issei was a dragon and couldn't hide his aura, which made him give them fear and terror seeing him. But Kai, thanks to being around his mother and father and trying to learn his magic and aura as soon as he could, it helped make some humans not be afraid, but not all. Mom, Dad, we're home, Kai said as Issei and him walked in the door. Oh, hi boys, how are you doing? Ophis asked. Good, Mom, pardon me, Issei said, walking towards to his room to rest. Kai, what's wrong with your brother lately? I'm worried, Ophis said, caring for sons. I don't know, Mom, he won't tell me, Kai said, putting his head down, thinking he let his brother down. It's his aura, Great Red said, getting the two's attention. What do you mean, Dad? Kai asked as Ophis teared up, letting out power. Those damn humans. They should, I don't kill them, Ophis said, angry, but Kai held her hand. Mom, it's okay, but what's his aura? Kai wondered. Son, if a dragon can't control their aura or power, it scares weaker creatures, especially heavenly dragons and dragon gods, because we make low to mid-class devils feel fear, and even ultimate class but low class and other species like humans we terrify to the point of ignoring us or running away. Great Red explained, shocking his son. But how can I talk to humans and not scare them? Kai said, trying not to cry or let out power. It's because you've been trying to control it by training or learning from your mother, thus you have more control. Great said, making Kai understand. That's it, I will go with Issei to the park tomorrow and... Ophis was about to say before she felt an incredible force of aura and pressure coming from Great Red. You will do no such thing. Issei is not telling us this because he wants to grow up strong or be himself. If we help without him asking, we break his pride and soul as dragon, and I won't let my son lose his pride and heart. Great Red yells, shocking Ophis, showing how much he cared for the boys before he calmed himself. Sorry about that, he said before feeling a tug on his pants, seeing Kai. Dad, what if I go with Issei to the park instead of separating from him? This time we can play like we did at the gap. Like brothers. Kai said, making his parents happy as they agreed. POV Issei while they were talking. Issei was laying on his bed looking at his arm as he teared up and it began to glow. Are you okay, partner? Drake asked the young boy. Yeah, I'm fine, Drake, just tired of people treating me like a monster. Issei said, whipping his tears as the dragon spoke. Issei, you are a youngling, not a monster. You have great power, but at your age you try to feel what's like to fly and be free before calming and controlling the aura and beast within you. You are no monster, the opposite. In fact, you are a powerful dragon who all will respect. Drake said, comforting his partner as at work, and boy smiled. Thanks, Drake. And you said aura and beast within? Does each dragon have different potential? Issei asked as Drake laughed. Yes, we all do in fact, but hard work changes it. But Issei, your potential is beyond that of your mother and father if you control your power and train, because you are the son of the two dragon gods that rival each other, and Red Dragon Emperor who awakened his gear at age which is impressive beyond belief. Now stand strong, you are stronger than a Mu and most mid-class dragons. If you go wild, now stand as the dragon you are and never back down from my fight as you remember these words. Drake spoke with pride and honor, making Issei stand and smile. Thanks, Drake, I now know what I got to do and I will remember these words. Issei said, closing his eyes. Dark-colored eyes turned yellow before going blank. The next day, Issei and Kai both went off to the park together to have fun like they used to at the Gap. Hey bro, why are you coming with me today? Issei asked as Kai was silent for a moment but then spoke. Because we're brothers and we always have each other's back. Kai said, reaching out a fist, making Issei smile as he fist bumped his brother as the two smiled. So what do you want to? But as Issei was about to talk to his brother, he felt something behind and pushed Kai down as a large blast shot by them, making a barrier. What the hell? Kai said in shock as he turned to his brother, who was launched by a tree due to the blast. Now you are children of Ophis, interesting, maybe you can give me what I want. Shalba Beelzebub said as he and an army of thousands of devils were by him. Shalba Beelzebub said as he and an army of thousands of devils were by him. So you Shalba, sorry, but I don't swing that way, old man. Kai said, being smart and getting up. No, foolish child, no, you will die because your mother owes me power, but instead she gave birth to you. Shalba said till he turned to Issei. So he's the older twin. He thought with a smirk as he snapped his fingers. Attack the brats. Shalba yelled as the devils charged at Kai. Shit. Kai said as he began punching and kicking the devils away and even using his wings to cut some in half as he flew up. Eat this banished flame. Kai yells as he formed a black sphere of fire, threw it down, making it turn partly red, causing a 0 of the devils to turn to dust. As he fell, the flame caused the weaker devils to be unable to move. Ha ha, housed Kai said before he blinked and saw Shalba with a dagger. As he grabbed, she throat choking him. But while Kai launched the flame to now, Issei got up but didn't know what to do. TCH. Foolish boy, if you want fight, fine, your mommy will find you dead if she is lucky to find a body. Shalba said, stabbing Kai, making him scream. Ah. Grr. You bastard. He uttered out before he tried to kick, but nothing happened. And Issei slowly got up, watching this happen. Issei, you know what you must do, Drake said. Issei slowly walked out from the tree, remembering the words Drake told him that he could become the greatest. Hey Shala bitch, over here. Issei yelled, making Kai laugh, and Shalba pissed as he threw Kai on the ground. Don't you dare mess with my brother, let alone threaten my family. Issei yelled as his aura burst out of his, cracking the barrier and killing 0 devils and harming the rest. His eyes flickered between gold and blank as he was trying to control it, and his hair spiked up and his aura shot out of him and around the barrier, looking like a mix between black and red. Along with his wings out and tail, and right arm dark red and scaled, and his left glowed, showing something terrifying. Along with his wings out and tail, and right arm dark red and scaled, and his left glowed, showing something terrifying. What the hell, no, it's can't be. Shalba said in fear as Kai began to laugh. You did it, bro, you awoke your power. Kai said, trying to heal himself as he looked at Issei. Shalba Beelzebub, ISSSI, your time to pay for what you have done. Issei yelled in a mix of human and Dragaean voice of his and Drake's. Roar like a beast. As the barrier shakes, we see Issei standing tail with his hair previously black and red to pure scarlet, and spiked up, and his eyes blanks, and the gear on his arm with his aura harming and destroying the wings and bones of most of the devils as Shalba watches in shock. Ha! Why? You got this, bro, Kai says as he turns to Shalba, firing a blast of energy at him, blinding AO he can escape. Damn you, runt! Shalba says, rushing at Kai, but as he tries to blast him with magic, Issei teleports in front of his brother, knocking the blast away. How can you know teleportation magic at this age? Shalba asked, making Issei laugh. Magic? It's not magic, he says before having a serious face, it's my pure speed. Issei says, scaring all the devils there as they don't move, looking at Issei's face. This is Issei with his eyes and hair. What are you? A devil saya before they hear a whisper. Inferno rain. Issei whispers, raising a hand up, consecrating his aura and summoning fire, mixing them into blades and energy beams of fire. Now die! Boost, Issei yells as he throws them everywhere, stabbing and killing a couple hundred devils and burying or cutting of the wings or limbs of the rest, making only 0 devils live, injured or burn, not counting Shalba. You want to know what I am? I will tell you. I am Issei, Hyda's son, Great Red and Ophis, and the current Red Dragon Emperor, but more than that, you unleashed my rage and the beast within my power of Pharaoh, Red Dragon of wrath and domination. Issei yells, mixing his and Drake's voice, paralyzing a few devils with voice alone as his brother looks at him. Issei? Is this really your hidden power? The power of wrath and domination. Kai thinking, closing his eyes, knowing he needs to help his brother somehow until he notices the barrier shaking. Kai quickly goes to hide behind the tree as devils see him or rush towards the tree. They hear one thing ending them. Boost. Inferno dragon shot rang out from the gear as Issei moves in front of the devil's shoulder, blasting them, killing another 0, and cracking the barrier only a small amount, but the devils near the blast that lived got burned. Issei, seeing this, lets out a laugh along with a sadistic smile. Good, you're all still alive now. I can break you slowly while having my fun. Issei said, letting out his crimson and black wings and his tail rushing at the devils. While all this happens, Kai hides behind the tree, closing his eyes and then opening them, looking serious. Okay, I need to find a way to break this barrier. Maybe if I enter my own Pharaoh mode I can help, Kai says, but then getting angry, saying, Hey, I am talking to you now. Come, Albion, I need your help. Kai yells before a blue and white glow forms on his back and shoots. What is it, Kai? I was sleeping till I felt Drake's and your father's power. Albion said, having us now know Kai is the White Dragon Emperor. Albion, can I use the dividing gear and that Pharaoh mode to break this barrier? Kai asked. Yes, but you would need a trigger, and why the barrier? You could just kill them all. Albion asked his partner. Albion, my brother and I are. Plus I can control my power while Drake and Issei is trying not to go berserk, but they don't have long, and when they run out of time my brother might die, and for the barrier I will get Mom and Dad to help us because we can kill all the devils but a Satan. A fake move, we would kill ourselves killing him, but leaving him half dead would work for me. Kai said, shocking Albion with his plan, but the vanishing dragon understood. But as they were talking they heard a yell from the battle, and as they turned they saw 0 devil soldiers left being pinned by Issei's aura constructs of chains and daggers, while it was Issei versus Shalba. Now it's your turn, Satan, since we can't be disturbed. Issei says as he clenches his fist, boosting, but then he grabs his chest but trying not to show pain. Issei, hurry my friend, if we keep thing Pharaoh power up you will lose control and will start using your life force, maybe even activate the Juggernaut drive by mistake. Don't die on me, partner. Drake says in a panic as he doesn't want Issei to do or use that drive, as for once he worries and cares for his partner. Got it, Drake. Grr, how much time? Issei struggles to say aloud, shocking Shalba and Kai who hear him. Time? Oh, I see you, brat, you don't have full control of this power, and once time runs out I win. Shalba says, but Kai who hears this is worried. Albion, is this true? Kai asked. No, Kai, it means when time runs out you will need to help or kill Issei, as he will go wild and maybe even activate a drive you have that for you too should be forbidden. Albion says, shocking Kai as he knows the drive he speaks of from what his mother told him. The Juggernaut drive, Kai says, shocked and afraid for his brother, but as Kai was talking to Albion, Drake talked to Issei, involving the time they had left, minutes at least. Drake said as Issei smirked, stopping the Satan's laugh. More than enough time, Drake, if you please boost to my max so I can help end this freak. Issei as his aura burst out, having Kai look at the fight, and the gear glowed as it rang out, causing the barrier to crack and shake. Boost, 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 0. Dragonic fracture. Drake let out from THS gear as a scarlet and emerald light glowed from Issei as some of his potential created a fracture as Drake awakened some FOIT to help his partner. Not Drake set free and awakened % of Issei's potential to fight and to control all the aura and heal his body after Issei wants to stop fighting. Now back to the fight. Ah! Issei's eyes then were shown as red and yellow in the form. Yes, finally in control and full power to so. Get in a stance with claws gear and wings with his tail ready to strike. Bring it on, Shalba. Issei yelled, charging at the devil with such speed not even Kai could keep up as he punched the Satan in the gut with millions of punches as his claw marks were shown, starting to make the devil burn and bleed on his whole right side of his body. Ugh! How are? Shelba said before getting cut off by Issei taking out his claws and jumping for wing slash, but when Shelba put his arm out to use magic to block it, not only was the magic circle broken but also Shelba's arm came off, bone and all, and turned to ashes. Ah, damn you brat! Shelba screamed in pain as he went to punch Issei, but Issei used his tail to catch it. Careful now, it's your last arm and it's the only body part besides the left leg that's not burned, Issei said before coughing blood from the pressure of the form. Issei minute, Drake said in panic. Got it, Drag, in that case I will take this with me, Issei said, using his gear arm with all his power left to punch and claw out Shelba's left eyes as he then passed out with a smirk of victory on his face. You damn brat, this is your end, Shelba yelled, pissed as his soldiers who were stabbed and sealed by Issei's aura is able to move but they are burned. Die! Shelba yelled, forming a blade from his power and blood aiming to stab the unconscious Issei, but then instead of Issei it slashed the side Kai's face, who was pissed off and broke the blade with rage. Who the hell are you? Shelba asked, pissed and confused. My name is Kai Hayate's son, Great Red and Ophis, and brother to Issei Hayate, and this day you now have only brought chaos and despair upon yourself, you fake Satan, Kai said, calm but snapped, full of fury at the end, as it was quite for a few moments till Shelba laughed. Ha ha, oh, what can you do, boy? Shelba asked with his eye socket still bleeding as Kai smirked. Instead of talking, let damn show the warrior you let out, because dragons and brothers always fight in pairs, Kai said, scaring Shelba and the remaining 09 devils as he let out his aura and the dividing gear on his back. But as they saw the gear, Kai kept building up more power as his hair spiked up. Oh! He yelled as his hair went from navy blue, which was already almost black, to pitch black like his mother's, but the aura and power glowed silver like stars in black void. And his eyes, unlike Issei, he kept control thanks to Albion dividing his power, letting us see his silver and blue eyes. Sigh. Kai breaths in and out as his aura calms, but all are scared of him as he looks at his brother picking him up and moving him towards the tree and setting him down. Thanks, bro, for the time I needed. We may be twins, but you are older by a few minutes, so thanks for being headstrong, big bro, Kai says as he knows he will only call Issei that once, and he turns to the Satan. Time to pay for crimes against the dragon, Kai says as he rushes past him and kicks through a few of the devil's spines, killing them, and then reaching his hand towards the sky as his power and Albion's compress in his hand. Eat this vanishing black hole breaker, Kai says as he throws the sphere towards the devils near the top of the barrier, and as some of them move it hits just one of them and expands and blows up, killing all of them with a blue and black fire and white stars. You think killing my gums will end me? Shelba said till Kai pointed up, seeing his barrier cracked and grew bigger till it exploded. I would leave now because our par. Before Kai finished he passes out as he used all his power to break the sphere. Shit. Shelba says as he teleports to the underworld as he sees two dragons in the sky, being Ophis and Red's power. Kai Issei, damn, he got away, Great Red said in rage as he picked up his son who was on ground. Let's see. Great Red then checks to see if son is okay with magic, and by checking his body for injuries, he's fine, but as he turns to Ophis, she has gone to Issei. Babu, are you okay? He's out cold and burns, Ophis says, putting her tears on him as they evaporate, proving her point, but then the two go silent as they see what's on Kai's back. Albion! The two say as they are shocked but now understand why Drake didn't tell them who the white dragon was. Yes, I am, but if I were you, get us to the Dragon Moodins or Dimensional Gap and talk to Drake. His host is in incredibly bad shape compared to Minor, who is just tired and hungry. Albion as the two nod, taking their leave with their kids. After Kai passed out, Ophis and Red took Issei and Kai to the Dimensional Gap to teleport from there to their human home unseen as they set their kids on the bed in their room as soon after both the boosted and dividing gear appeared. Drake, are you awake, you flame-scaled idot? Albion asked as Drake woke up with rage as the gear glowed. What did you say, you white patsy-face virgin? Drake yelled, having the dragon gods laugh. Dryag, is Issei okay? Great asked as he caught Drake's attention. Yes, he is just very tired and he is healing himself surprisingly, Dryag said as that calmed the parents, but the noise wakes up a little one. Ugh. What happened? Kai asked as he woke up still tired, shocking his parents and reliving Albion. Kai, we have a lot to talk about as you and Issei are alive, but your power reached our level, Albion said, shocking his host, which he saw this. But to be fair, with that power you saved your brother, so he didn't use a cursed drive. I'm proud, my friend. Albion said as Kai smiled and a power was let out. HRR. Get away, no. No. I won't be your damn tool. Issei yelled, waking up as he entered his feral form. Partner. Issei, it's okay, it was just a nightmare. Drake yelled, so even the gods heard him, calming Issei down, even though Red, Ophis, and Albion heard concern in his voice, which made them think it wasn't just a nightmare. Okay. Issei says as he breaths in and out heavily, turning off the feral mode as he looks at his family. What happened? Issei asks till he looks and sees Kai with white wings and jumps up, flying towards Kai. He can't really run in the gap. Wow, you're the white dragon, bro, awesome. Issei said as Kai smiled. Yeah, awesome, he said with a sweat drop as he went to think of something to Albion through their link. Seems like he doesn't remember what happened. Albion spoke to his saddened partner. I know, but does Drake? Kai asked, feeling sad as he thinks he is to blame for this, as he thinks back to Beast Issei was on the battlefield, even using untapped potential to create weapons. He most likely he remembers, but he is trying to hide it from until he thinks it's alright. Albion says as Kai looks at Issei. Makes sense since he wants Issei to stay calm. Kai thinks before leaving the link. So bro, how did the fight with that Satan go? What was his name? Shuba. Shalta. Issei thought as he couldn't remember. I forget myself, I think it was Beelzebub something. Kai said to his brother, as he thought till they felt chills of fear and death to their core as they turned to see their mother letting out a large amount of bloodlust. Faiz-chan? Red said till he saw her shed a tear as he then walked into her aura, hugging her as his arms gained some burns, but she calmed down, dispelling the bloodlust. Ophis, what's wrong? Red asked as Ophis stayed in his chest as the embrace of his hug calmed her, but Red knew she was crying. She never hides her face unless that happens. Mom! Issei and Kai yelled, rushing to their parents in tears and shock. Are you okay? Please say you're okay? They asked, hugging their parents, as then they heard sobbing and hissing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, this is all my fault. Ophis said in tears as he summoned more snakes as the boys hugged them, because instead of power they had a shade of white and blue in them, showing they are snakes of sorrow. Ophis, it's not your fault, don't blame yourself. Red said, letting go of the hug and lifting Ophis' head up so she could see him. They were shocked as they saw their mom in tears and her eyes all puffy and red. Boo. But it is Baka Red, I wanted to help those bastards so I could get my home back, but now just want my power when I'm happy for the first time, so they are going after our boys. Ophis said, turning to her younglings. So sorry. She cried as she looked down but felt a shocking warmth as the kids hugged her, making her smile. No mom, don't blame you, blame that damn devil. Issei said as Kai nods. Yeah, we will just get stronger so they know not to mess with the Hyena dragon gods. Kai said with a smirk as him and Issei stopped hugging their mother and fists bumped until they heard a squishy noise. Boys, what did you do? Red asked as he heard the noise come from Issei's pocket. We have no clue. They both said as Kai looked at Issei, who checked his pocket to see an eye, confusing the boy. When did I? Issei was about to say until he was cut off by the gear. Issei, I will tell you during training or when you're older, okay? Dryag said as Issei got serious. Sure, Dryag. Issei said, cutting off the link. So let's forget about this, Issei says, throwing at his mom. Ready to train, bro? Issei asked as Kai smirked. Thought you never ask. He said as the two moved far away and took off their damaged clothing and got rid of the gears while they let out their aura, rushing at each other, going for punch. He said as the two moved far away and took off their damaged clothing and got rid of the gears while they let out their aura, rushing at each other, going for punch. They both go back and forth like this. As the two started to train, the parents were in shock, not just how they went to training after near death, but how Issei can't remember feral. Seems like the two really want to train. Ophis said with a nervous chuckle as Red laughed and walked towards his sons. Eat this, Kai. Issei said, building up a blast of red fire and energy. Oh yeah, bring it. Kai said as he did the same but with black and blue. Ab. They yelled, rushing at each other till they stopped as a sudden red flask of energy WSS shot at them. What the? How the two said as they summoned their gears. Issei / Kai, look out. Dryag and Albion yelled as that another blast was fired at them, but this time the two flew out of the way. However, the blast split following Kai and a shot Issei head on. Ugh. Damn. Issei cursed as he was on his knee with a smoke screen around him until it cleared. Issei was calm, but then he was paralyzed in fear. Hey son, get up. Red said as he looked down at Issei as he fired those blasts. As Issei saw him, he nearly snapped. Boost. 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 Explosion Inferno Booster. DRG rang out as Issei sparked his and Dryag's arrow around him like an explosive fire, and his hair stood up with the same color, and dragon claws and wings in his human form. Look at you, a human dragon form at this age, incredible, but focus your aura and might to stay in the form, you might be able to merge feral with it one day. Red says as he walks towards Issei. Until then, train your mind and body to use some of the powers Dryag told me about. He says before punching Issei in the gut, knocking him out. What the? Kai says, getting up, building up a blast of energy and fire of his own. Eat this, Father Banizon. Ugh. Before Kai could finish his attack, he was knocked unconscious by Ophis as he fell to the ground. Sai, looks like they need to go training by themselves, but first I teacher would help. Ophis said, worried for her kids' battle IQ and normal intelligence. Don't worry, I know just a place, and as for Parison, maybe to help control their power, and to grow wiser, how about Fafnir and the old crow? Red says with a smirk as Ophis laughs. You mean their godfather? Ophis said, I haven't agreed to that yet, I prefer an evil dragon over a crow unless teaching goes well. Red says as the kids snore and Ophis and Red go get their bags for training. The next day, yawn, what the heck happened? Kai says tired, but then jolting up seeing he WSS in the woods with Issei passed out and with bags and a note. Train well boys, test dragon and servile instincts, that's how you grown up. Love you boys from mom and dad. Kai was furious as they had to train and he didn't like their test, but he turned to his brother. Issei, wake up. Wake up. Kai said, trying to get up, brother, up. Get up. Kai yelled, still trying to get him up, but nothing, and he then got a smile on his face as he summoned his gear. Dividing ball flame kick. Kai yelled, kicking Issei in his dragon parts, jolting the dragon awake in tears as he was in immense pain. You jerk. Issei said, slowing, moving towards Kai till looking around. Why are we here? Issei yelled, thinking Kai did this, but Kai gave him the note, and he was annoyed. Come, let's just go, there should a place to visit somewhere. Kai said as he grabbed a white bag and Issei grabbed the red one along with a map. Alright, let's go. The Teo dragon said as they began their travel. Hey, how about we TRT to find some snakes? Issei says. No, we might find deer and ride them like a horse. Kai says as the two chuckle and bicker for hours till they see a fork in their path. Okay, Issei, you have the map, right? Which way do we go? Kai asked as Issei looked confused. What map? Issei as Kai looked at him with a panicked expression. The paper I gave you, where is it? Kai asked, hoping his brother wasn't so dumb to burn it. Oh, that. I was hungry, Issei said as Kai lunged at him with the two now fighting in the dirt. Why the hell would you eat our map? Hey, you never said I couldn't, and you're one who didn't think about food. True, but that doesn't mean eating our map, even though I am hungry too. They kept yelling until they heard loud growl and looked only to find out in embarrassment it was their stomachs as they looked down. I am sorry, Issei, I just am hungry and I hate this test. Kai said as Issei looked at him. It's alright, bro, I'm sorry I ate the map, I just mom's cooking. Issei as Kai nods until the gears form. Did either of you check the bags for food? Drake asked, Anid, but hungry too. Yes, even if it's not cooked, you both can try cooking. Albion said as the two boys looked and saw ingredients for their favorite food, flaming hellhound ribs with hydra scale and neck to grill and put with fire and interesting seasonings they had. The two began to drool and make a fire, gathering wood and using their dragon claws to cut some trees to make a spear and tails to also use as spear to eat the food. As they cut the meat and cooked it, they began to laugh and train some fire and element magic, but as the flame grew, a girl with rose hair saw it and rushed over there. That meal was great, you did well, the ribs. Issei said as Kai chuckled. That's but you did, flaming a saucing and grilling the hydra neck with scales for a grunch. Kai complimented his brother as they heard a sudden noise, making them jump upward and get in a fight stance. Hello? Anyone here? I saw a fire. A girl says until seeing two boys with the smell of the supernatural in their blood. Who are you, woman? We will fig back, this is our food. Issei says as Kai hits his head. Not just that, but we won't let anyone stop our journey, Kai says as the girl chuckles. Issei says as Kai hits his head. Not just that, but we won't let anyone stop our journey, Kai says as the girl chuckles. This is her. Sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm Mocha Akashi, a pleasure to meet you, but why are two boys lost in the woods? She asked as the two dropped their guard. Well, Mocha-sama, we were training and when we saw a fork in the road we couldn't find out where to go. Issei says as Kai chuckled. Because someone ate our map. Kai teased as Issei hit his brother with a playful punch, telling him to shut up. Well, you two, how about you come with me to my school? It's warm as food and a bath if you need it, but they hate humans, sorry to say. Mocha says as the two looked confused. Miss Mocha, my name's Kai, be you the way, and me and my brother aren't humans. Kai says as Issei laughs, yeah, we're dragons who can take human form. Issei says as Mocha went pale, scaring the boys who went to her. Doctor. Dragons, please say you're kidding, they are triple S rank, being stronger than me by 100-fold as a MS class. Mocha said SS. The boys laugh and then walk with Mocha. Sorry about that, my name's Issei, and yeah, we are, but I didn't a big deal? Issei said as Kai looked at Mocha. Yeah, we didn't know about that, sorry Mocha. Kai says as the two look down, thinking they won't have friends now, and she saw this. Hey! Mocha says, crouching down to them. It's alright, just don't tell anyone, and I know how you feel, but don't worry, I will always be your friend if you need one. Mocha says, getting up and cheering up the boys, who smiled. Alright, let's go. The three yell with joy, seeing a school named Yokai Academy.